Hello everyone, this is Delx here, and now I'm here with the Runecraft card reviews. If you don't know why I'm doing formatting it like this, because there's a lot of cards, and I decided that for the sake of, for the sake of having short and concise video where I can go in depth and it doesn't take up like 3 hours, I'm splitting it up into 9 parts. So if at the end of this, please do check out the other card reviews if you're interested in them, or if not, you can just finish this one and be happy with your Runecraft knowledge. So let's get started. First up, Rosie Magician, 8 mana 2-4. The moment I read the first line of text, I already know it's a staple in most spell boost decks. It's a spell boost card, subtract 1 from the cost of this card, and when on fanfare you banish an enemy follower, basically it screws me over. In particular, restore 3 defense to your leader, keeps you healthy, spell boost the cards in your hand. Really good. 4.5, you're playing every spellbook decks instantly. Only downside, she doesn't draw. But that is perfectly fine, because what she does do is keep you alive, and you can keep your draw relatively healthy with a Fate's Hand, which is in rotation right now. And you also have Ward, which keeps you healthy. But not only that, when you play a card with spell boost outside of Rosie Magician, you evolve this for free, which, you know what, happens a lot more often than you think it does. So right now, as of now, it's a 5/5, 100% run in most spell boost decks. Next up, Tetra, Safire Leader, our first resurgent for Rune. This is a Machina legendary 4 mana 3/4, put a recovery into your hand. Recovery is a 1 mana 1 Machina spell that heals 1 to your leader, restore 2 to all allied Machina followers. And whenever you play a Machina card, you activate one of the following 3 effects in order. You recover 2, deal 2, put Azure Blast into your hand. So the problem with this card that I see right off the bat is that it's kind of bricky. You play Tetra. Unless you evolve her immediately, you need to spend like 3 mana, because you can, as of now, I don't think you can discount recovery in Rune. So you have to spend 3 mana to activate it. You can get 2 mana back from Tetra, and then still you need 2 mana to plus Azure Blast. So that at the very least, 7 mana to get all the effects active. And even 8 mana if you want to play it for free. Like evolve this for free instead of getting it out. So my first impression is this is very slow. I mean, even though Azure Blast does say it deals 2 to a random enemy 4 times, 2 mana deal 8, and potentially could go face. That could be strong, but looking at the effects, it doesn't do enough. Particularly because, look, let's assume your opponent has a very wide board, say 5 followers. Now you play Tetra, and then you play 3 recoveries. You manage to evolve this for once. You deal 2 to a random enemy follower. You destroy 1, so you got rid 2 of the followers. They still have 3 left, but you have to spend the last 2 recoveries on your to get the Azure Blast, and then the Azure Blast could hit all the 3 followers, and then you do 2 to face only, and that's on turn 7. No, that's on turn 8. 3 mana plus 3 mana plus Tetra. 4 cards in total, because 1 to evolve, 2, 3, 4. 4 cards in total plus Tetra, and then you only play Azure Blast. Then that seems really slow to me. I don't quite see how it works. True, you can combo this with Amaryllis, which increase the damage to 3, but think about it, doing 3 damage to face with this much payoff. I mean, one bright side is that you like heal 4, but like, really? 8 mana deal 3? That's what you're going for? I don't see it. I really don't see it working unless they have a way of making recoveries really, really cheap, such that you can get a lot of board tempo with, and the your opponent's board is empty enough where Azure Blast can actually finish them off. Okay, there is one scenario where potentially it works out, like that 1 in a million chance where the stars align and all 4 shots land on your opponent's face and they reach quit the game. In which case they quit Shadowverse, you got up 1 rank. I bet you're very happy about that. But yes, as of now, with the current cards, or based on only Tetra alone, I'm very disappointed in her. So I think she's only a 2/5 star card, even despite all the numerous support. No, actually, with the support from previous expansion, specifically only Amaryllis. But maybe there's something more. Let's take a look. Next, we have Miser, 1 mana, 1/2 Resurgent card, premium stats, Goblin, puts Hastening Conviction into your hand. If this card has been spell boosted at least 5 times, put 2 into your hand instead. And only evolve, you subtract 1 from all Hastening Conviction in your hand. Hastening Conviction is 1 mana, deal 2 to a random enemy follower. If you play 3 other, you deal 2 to the enemy leader. And if you have spell boost 5, you put another 1 into your hand immediately. So this is the spell boost payoff that we've been looking for. So I did some math with this card, so I did some calculating. I found out best case you can get Miser out on turn 3 with spell boost 5, and then after that ideally on turn 4 there is a chance. It's very difficult, but there is a high roll where your Hastening Convictions also get spell boosted 5 by the end of turn 4. It is not impossible. Like turn 1, you can go turn 1 inside, turn 2 inside, turn 3 inside, 3 play spells on turn 1, and then turn 3 you can play 2 more spells, and then Miser is spell boosted 5. And then turn 4 comes, you can play Fate's Hand into another 2 1-drop spells, another 3 1-drop spells, and then Hastening Conviction becomes active. And if you're going second, Miser can evolve, you can play your Hastening Convictions immediately for 0 mana, and then start spell boosting your next one as well. You can go very early with Miser, and especially if you have Amaryllis as well, in which case you will take little reach from Hastening from 10 Hastening Convictions down to 7 Hastening Convictions, which means you only need to play 10 Hastening Convictions in total to win the game. And if you draw other Misers, there's also a lot less time, so you have to spell boost, although well you still have to spell boost, so it could be a little bit tricky because Miser doesn't spell boost your hand after all, but it does make Hastening Convictions really, really cheap and easy to play. And here's a food for thought: if you have like 5 Hastening Conviction in your hand, you basically just get Infinite Loot. Just keep playing a Hastening Conviction in their order, your spell boost. Just be careful about that point. See how many times your Hastening Conviction has been spell boosted, so you do not screw up the order if you have 5 or more. Like just play the one, just for general sake, just play the one on the left every single time, and then you can just infinitely cycle that, and you probably win the game that way. Especially if they cannot deal with Amaryllis. So Miser definitely have potential. Could need a bit of a workaround. I definitely cannot tell how easy it is to pull out without playing the deck myself. So for now, I'll put him at a 4.5 just because of like the potential of being strong and how easy he actually is into the deck. Because look, even if you don't win, you're not planning to win with Hastening Conviction, it's still a 1 mana deal 2 and then eventually spell boost 1. That is good enough. Next up, Eleanor, Beloved Flower, 3 mana 2/2, put a Splendid Mysticism in your hand, draw a card, spell booster card in your hand. You know what, that's decent, but I really rather that effect for like what, 1 mana? But you do get another spell which you can use to spell boost, which is okay, but here's the text that I hated a lot. If you have more evolve points than your opponent, recover those 2 pay points. Basically, if you're going second, this card becomes exponentially better. If you go first, you cry if this is in your hand because you just wasted 3 mana to draw a card and spell boost one. You can spend 1 mana to win that instead. Splendid Mysticism, however, is a card that you can deal 3 to a random enemy follower and restore 3 to your leader, which is really strong. This effect is super good, which you know what, almost justifies its 3 mana cost. But honestly, I rather they just made it 2 mana and say recover 1 play point instead. Really, realistically, 2 mana, recover 1 play point, just so you just shorten the gap between like going first and going second. I know maybe going second you need more advantage, but like it makes going first with this feel so bad, and I really don't like that game design. But other than that, it's okay. You play this spell boost. You spell boost 2 over 2 turns. Unless you spend turn 3 playing this and then you cry. So yeah, I think this is fairly 2.5, at most 3.5. You play in spell boost decks. That's about it. Moving on. Next up of Trust. Whenever you play a Machina card, subtract 1 from the cost of this card, put 2 recoveries to your hand. Give your leader the following effect at the end of turn. Whenever you play a Machina card, deal 1 damage to a random enemy follower. So it's very obvious. This is a 0 play point card that is meant to clear the board for you. And my immediate combo is with Tetra, indeed. So how does it go? You play Arts of Trust first, you play Tetra, deal ping 1 to a random enemy follower, play 4 recoveries, 3 recoveries, ping another 3, and then eventually play another one, and then play Azure Blast for when you are hoping that by some miracle you by playing like 4 or even 5 Machina cards, you somehow that 5 damage is enough to clear the board, which could be because Tetra does do 2 to a random enemy, and then she does do have 5 evolve for 5 and can go fade, could trade into 1 or other one. So it's not impossible that your opponent's board is completely clear. It's like 5 damage from Tetra, and then 2 damage from her ping. You get like, and then 5 damage from Arts of Trust. You get like, oh wait, and if you have Amaris on board, this is 10 damage from Arts of Trust, which is a significant amount more, which could actually be very big and actually makes the Amaris lethal a lot. Actually, the Tetra lethal a little bit more viable, but my main problem is still that you have to wait until turn 7 or turn 8. That, and you're not OTKing by then, is you're way too slow. You're way too slow. That's still not viable yet. It definitely makes it a lot better, but still not viable. But the card itself, very average. You can treat it as a spell boost card. Recoveries are 1 cost spell you can use to spell boost. So you know what? Maybe in a spell boost deck, because this is eventually can become 0, I'll say this is like a 3.5 upon 5. Next up, Tech Wizard. 3 mana, 3/3, put assembly draw into your hand, give it the following effect, evolve this follower, at the end of your turn, if this follower is in play, destroy it, and has 5, subtract 1 for the cost of all Machina in your deck hand. Okay, this is it. This is the Tetra support you need. You need to run this card in Machina Rune no matter what. Otherwise, Tetra is never going to be good. You're never going to get her on time. She's too slow. So what the benefit of having Tech Wizard is now Tetra is actually 3 mana. And it's not restricted to end of turn. It's 3 mana on turn 6. You can play Assembly Droid. You can play your Arts of Trust. You can play our Armor Release. Evolve that. And then you can definitely play a ton more recoveries, including recoveries that you have already stocked into your hand beforehand. And then your Azure Blast can actually go face for 12 damage. Ideally. I think it's pretty likely to happen, especially if you have on turn 6, especially if all the Machina cards in your hand has been reduced by 1. That is pretty decent. That's really good. I mean, I think it's essential actually. You have to run Tech Wizard. So I don't like the fact that the entire deck is like needs this 1 card, but because it needs this 1 card, I have to put it at least a 4 upon 5. And Tetra, because it's so reliant, I can only put it at 3 upon 5. And then moving on, we have Gaia Sorceress, which is a 2 mana 1/3 ward, summon a magic sentiment, draw a card, which they are supporting Earthright. Who do Earthright even have? Levi, Golem Lord? Okay, you know what? That's decent. You can play around with those 2 mana summon 1, draw a 1 is okay. And now if on evolve you Earthright restore 3 to your leader, draw a card, you use 1, but you waste the evolve that you can use on Levi or even Golem Lord. So I'm not sure about you, but okay, you know what? You're playable. 3 upon 5. Let's move on. Connected Hearts is our next card. Runecraft Silver Spell, 3 mana, 3. Fuse Machina cards, put 2 different Machina follows on your hand into your deck. So looking at it right now, I only see 2 Machina followers, Tetra, and also Tech Wizard, in which case that's really good. This means it's really consistent to draw both of them. If you fuse 1 card, you summon 2 Assembly Droids, not as important. If you have more evolve them, then you evolve a random evolve Assembly Droid and recover 1 play point. That's even less important. I think you only need it to tutor the 2 Machina follows from your deck, and that's all you need. All you need this card to do. And next up we have Rocket Broom, which 1 mana 1/1 rush fanfare. You have 3 other Machina cards in your hand. Gain +2/+0 until the end of turn. Last words, put a recovery into your hand. Honestly, look, I think I'm not looking at how the deck goes right now. I know you have to have a Tech Wizard. So I'm starting to have doubts about running more Machina followers in your deck, which I think is a very bad idea. But because of Iolon, you do have a lot of draw. I don't think it's as bad as it could potentially be. So you know what? maybe on the surface this is decent. You get it's a 1 mana 2/1. You can use the gold face. It's a must kill, otherwise your opponent will take a lot of damage, and you still get recovery which can save for future Tetra turns. So because of that, it's a 4.5, almost as good as how Tetra will be. Next up, 2 mana 2/2 Magic Tech Mystic. What if you at least 2 other allied Machina cards are in play? Give the leader the following effect: the next time your opponent takes damage, reduce their damage to 0. Another counter magic, a face shield, and you put a red cover into your hand. Again, the same problem as before, as Rocket Broom Witch. But also this one is a little bit harder to pull off. You need 2 other allied Machina cards in play. Actually, it's not that hard because of connected hearts. You can play this on turn 4. Turn 4, yes, turn 4, going second, Magic Tech Mystic, and you get a Walk Follower, and you get a recovery, and you get a face shield. Basically, it's good enough, it's decent. But only problem is that it may mess up the tutor pool, so that's the issue. Then next up, Reviant Office. What I give you a rating? 3.5, as good as Tetra will be. Actually, to be fair, I'm frankly I'm of the opinion that Tetra Machina Rune will actually just straight up cut all the bronzes. I'm actually feeling that way right now. And just run Iolon just so you can get Tech Wizard on Tetra consistently, just because it's that important to get them consistently. Next up, Rivalian Officer. Is that oh, you know what I just realized? This discounts the Technolot. You know what? Play 2 of this Technolot becomes 7, and you know what? Maybe I will start running the other cards as well. That's interesting. I just thought about that. You know what? As I said, you know, the style of Machina Rune is no one else but this Silver Tech Wizard. This Tech Wizard is the one that's gonna bring it to like Fruition and beyond. I'm actually not even kidding. It is that card. And in fact, because of this card, I think you have potential to play like 2 Tetras in 1 turn. 2 Tetras in 1 turn, Technolot becomes 7. You turn 6, burn them down, turn 7, Technolot win the game. Okay, Machina Rune is cooking. You just need to get all the cards on time actually. That's what I meant to say. But you still also need to play a lot of Machinas, which I think you can probably make it. But anyways, back to where we were. 2 mana 1/2, draw a card, spell boost a card in your hand, deal 1 damage to your enemy follower. If this has been spell boost 5 times, deal 3 instead. Looking at the first line, draw 1, spell boost 1. Average. Maybe not as good for Miser, but you know what, it definitely goes for the longer game. And deal 1, which could usually trade into most followers that is played on 1, so it's value. You get draw, you spell boost, it's solid enough, 3.5. Let's move on. Pure Hearted Robot, 2 mana Machina, Natural, put a recovery into your hand once on each of them. Whenever this follow's defense is restored, you draw a card. It's a cycle draw engine. Basically converting recoveries into a card draw, which 3 mana draw 1, 2/2, you know what, it's not that great. But yeah, it's actually not that great. But is there a world where I play this? Probably not. It's not as good as the other one. It doesn't have any other keywords. It basically just says draw a card. You know what? I don't think I'll play this. I think it's the first 1.5 for Rune so far. And I think, yeah, that's it for Rune. That's it for Rune. Overall, you know what? Literally, only because of this card. Only because of Tech Wizard. Tech Wizard is going to be a star of Machina Rune. If any, it's not even Tetra. I feel so bad for Tetra, but Tech Wizard is actually going to be the star of Machina Rune. And no joke. But because like you enhance 5 on turn 5, enhance 5 on turn 6, and then turn 7 you have like Tetra, enhance 5 on turn 5. Can you go on turn 6? Enhance 5 on turn 6? No, you have to go on turn 6. And then maybe you enhance 5 on turn 7, Tetra immediately. Oh yeah, you can turn enhance 5 on turn 7. No, it may be a bit difficult to get Technolot out on turn 7 if you're gonna have to go with Tetra, but I think Tetra is essential to get Technolot out strong enough anyways. But you know what, it's a bit odd bits and pieces everywhere, but I think Machina Rune can take form in a certain way. You just need to hope a little bit and cope a little harder. So maybe the probability of it being good, I don't think it'll be good. Maybe at most tier 3. Tier 3, I'll give it tier 3. Tier 3 at the very most, simply because it's so reliant on this one card. It's so reliant on Tech Wizard. Is it? Yeah, it's enhanced 5. So you even if you play Ginger. Okay, you know what? Actually, I just forgot about Ginger. I like Machina Shadow is a thing. Sorry, Machina Rune is a thing. I like so hard. I forgot because I keep rating this based on the basis that Tetra will always be 4 play point. But if Ginger is still in rotation, Ginger can basically give you a one play point copy. If that's the case, holy shit, hell, this card is broken. Machina, wait, it's not broken, but I think I can say if you can get to tier 2. You know what? Machina Rune is a card thing, but it's still relying on Tech Wizard. It's still goddamn relying on Tech Wizard because like come on, this card is subtracting 1 from the cost of all Machina cards in your hand is way too good. Mana cheating is way too good. It's literally way too good. But I think that's basically my review for Rune. Anyways, somewhere around the screen right now there will be the links or the pop-ups or the other review videos. So if you do have time, do check them out. It means a lot to me. And also, if you're new to the channel, leave a like, leave a subscribe, and without further ado, let's move on. Okay, bye.